Forces loyal to Libya's internationally recognized government have struck a heavy blow against Islamic extremists. They've driven the jihadists from a key stronghold in Benghazi. The eastern city has been racked by fighting for more than a year, but overnight there have been celebrations in the streets. Kofa Mrenje has the story.
A rare sight in Libya, but after long months of fighting that reduced their city to ruins, they believe the jihadist grip on Benghazi has finally been broken, and it's time to celebrate.
Today we came back to our house after a long time, almost 1 year, thanks to the army and local fighters. May God protect them. It's hard to immediately live in the house because it needs maintenance with the main structure and the sanitary.
Today, Benghazi is celebrating its victory. It is a great victory with the participation of the city's youth and its army. We are with the army. We are with the wise leadership. Long live Libya, free.
Libya's second largest city was the birthplace of the uprising that toppled Muammar Gaddafi. But it's also suffered some of the worst trouble from the chaos that Gaddafi's downfall unleashed. Islamist militia, including ISIL fighters, took control of large parts of the city. Libyan special forces began a major offensive this past weekend amid reports that they've sourced new equipment and weaponry, despite an arms embargo. On Tuesday, the troops retook the central district of Al-Lithi, a jihadist stronghold. Much of the credit will go to General Khalifa Haftar, a controversial figure and head of the armed forces for the internationally recognized government.
We asked the old man for help and he replied to us and to our country.
The jihadists are still present in the south and west of Benghazi, but for residents, the army's success here is the best news they've had in a very long time. Kofa Mrenje, CCTV.
CCTV's Adel Mahroui joins us live from Cairo for more on this development. Adel, forces loyal to Libya's internationally recognized government are making significant gains in capturing Benghazi. What more can you tell us about this?
Well, it's part of a strong military operation that the Libyan government, the internationally recognized one, of course, has called it the Martyrs' Blood. It aims to dismantle the powers of terrorist organizations in Benghazi, and according to the chief of the military base in Benina, which is one of the bases responsible to launch the offensive against the Islamic State and other groups in Benghazi, he said that they have significantly progressed, and he believes that anytime soon the operation will terminate because of its early success. So it seems that the operations have not stopped entirely. There are still some minor parts, according to the Benina military base. He announced that, and therefore, according to him, we're approaching the final days in that operation and gaining full control for the internationally recognized government over Benghazi.
So if Libya's second largest city is eventually liberated from Islamist rebels, how might this affect the country's peace process?
It will definitely have a huge impact. We're talking about a successful military operation for the internationally recognized Tobruk-based government. It shows the strength of that government. It means that this government is gaining more territories, more control over Libyan territories, and therefore getting more popular support, and therefore overall, analysts believe it could give the Tobruk government more weight and more strength in its negotiations with the Western government dominated by Islamists in Tripoli. So this is what many are trying to analyze, exactly how effective will that be, or how will that has an effect to make Tripoli yield to this rising strength of Tobruk. It's still not clear, because the Western government is also very strong. It has strong control over the territories. It supervises in the western side of the country. But in general, it's an indication that Tobruk is getting stronger. Just how strong, and is it stronger than Tripoli, that's not clear yet.
Now, the internationally recognized Libyan administration failed on Tuesday to hold a vote of confidence in a new UN-brokered unity government. Why is that, and what happens next?
Well, what happened in the vote in the Eastern Parliament is that they held a session where the Prime Minister of the National Unity Government came to give them a vision of the government's plan if they get the support of the Parliament. But after the speech, they found out that the Parliament members who were attending are not enough legally or according to the bylaws of the Parliament to approve the Parliament. They need 97 members of Parliament to be present at least to start the vote over the plan presented by the Prime Minister. But what they had instead of 97 was 94. That 3 members doesn't seem much, but based on the bylaws, it's a legal obstacle and which forced the Parliament to push the vote for one more week. But there is still some trend and there are still some objections from some MPs who have boycotted the session, and they have reservations over the current format of the Parliament. They want to see some names loyal to the Tobruk government and the eastern side of Libya getting more seats in that government. Still about the plan itself, they're still negotiating about it, so we're still seeing some reservations, which is delaying that process. But overall, many parties concerned about Libya, particularly neighboring countries like Egypt, Algeria, Tunisia, they're urging Libyan factions to just put aside their differences, to put Libya first and try to give this to be internationally recognized government backed by the United Nations the support it needs, because if that happens, the international community will give arms to the government and the army that this government forms, and then give a stronger advantage to Libyans over the terrorist organizations inside the country.
Okay, Adel Mahri live there for us in Cairo.